everybody, it's Saturday, and you know what it's time for? It's time for another episode of Eat It Anyway. If you liked last week's episode, you're in for a real treat. This is part 2 of our Italian cheat meal. So last week we made meatball hoagies from scratch, and this week we used the leftover ingredients to make lasagna. That's what we got on our plate this week, so stick around and check it out.
Hi, so day 2 of our making pasta sauce. We made Italian sauce yesterday, our Italian gravy with meatballs. Yeah. And now today we reheated the sauce with the meatballs and the sausage that was left. And we boiled some pasta noodles, lasagna noodles. And we made a pound of ricotta with salt, pepper, parsley, and 1 egg. We cut up a pound of fresh mozzarella. And then we cut up a bunch of meatballs and sausage to do our layering. So these are the pieces that go into the lasagna. And now we just start layering. So the first layer is a layer of sauce. Not too thick, just enough to kind of get the noodles in there. Yeah. And then we just kind of keep alternating layers. We do a layer of sauce, a layer of noodles, a layer of the ricotta mix, a layer of the cheese, a layer of meat, and then repeat. So it's like rinse and repeat.
And the meat that we had over there that was all ground up, that
was our meatballs.
That's our meatballs and our sausage that we used to flavor the sauce.
Yeah, because it gives all that flavor into the sauce. All the little bits come off, and then we made meatball parmesan heroes last night.
So good.
So we had some meatballs, left over, obviously, and so we broke up a few. We still have a few more in there. We'll have that with our dinner.
We're truly using every
little
piece of the leftovers from yesterday to make lasagna.
Noodles too. A little trick is when you boil them, if you put just a little bit of olive oil in there, it keeps them from sticking. And then as soon as they're done, while they're hot, kind of like burns your fingers, you got to get them out of the pot. I did them between parchment paper so they don't stick, which is a really good trick. Some people just drape it on the outside of the pot. Either way, but like this is just a good way to keep them from sticking. And then basically you want to just start putting in your layers. So we got our first layer in. Nice. And they can overlap a little. That's, this happens to fit nicely. And then we're going to put, you just kind of dab it along. You want to leave enough for each layer so you don't want to go crazy. And we can, kind of adjust it as we go along. We don't know how many layers we're going to get because we got a lot of noodles. I don't want to be skimpy.
So this is your first time making this
myself. My sister always made it. My mother always made it. Then my mom passed away. My sister always made it. Okay. And this is the first time I made it myself. So I called my sister to make sure I was getting it right.
It always helps to double check and make sure you got the recipe.
She said, it's so easy, don't worry. So
that's good.
But prep work is important. Like to have it all laid out, it just makes it easier. So that when you're doing it, it just makes it that much easier to put it together. Gotcha. And this is, as I said, this is a mix of the sausage and the meatballs, which is just gives it the 2 flavors of beef and pork. And the sausage kind of just like broke up with a fork. You didn't even really need a knife to break it up.
It was so tender.
Yeah, from the sauce. The longer you cook it in the sauce, the softer it gets, even the meatballs. Now, I'm a person, I fry my meatballs before I put it in the sauce. Some people put the raw meatballs right in the sauce. I think you lose a little flavor by doing that because when they fry in the pan, you get like it just gets a little crusty on the outside, and then it just adds to the flavor.
You guys ready?
Yeah. So, did Nicole say that you guys only really make this at Christmas time?
Yeah, this is our Christmas time thing. Yeah. We always make it for Christmas. For New Year's, my mother used to make the monogoth, which one day we'll have to do that. That's the way you roll it up with the ricotta and the mozzarella inside.
So, do you have this like with the 7 fishers? Because I know you guys are.
No, this is Christmas Day.
Christmas Day.
Yeah, Christmas Day.
Because you eat a meat.
And then with that, we make a braciole,
Which we could be participating.
which we will make. We will make a braciole. I think we want to do it with your mom, so I'm not sure when we're going to do it. But
once the quarantine's all over and we have our freedom back.
The braciole is the flank steak, and then you make it real nice and thin, and you put breadcrumb on top of it, like a thick breadcrumb, lots of Parmesan cheese, hard-boiled eggs. Some people put prosciutto. Usually we put a little bit of prosciutto, and then you roll it up and cook it in the sauce too. You pan sear it first, put it in the sauce. Now each layer, you don't want to go crazy. Like I kind of put a lot on this layer, but like we have a lot of layers to make, so you don't want to put too much sauce because then it just comes too watery.
Guys, we forgot one very important ingredient. Check it out.
It's a Locatelli Romano. It's like a nice sharp, it's like a Parmesan, but just better. It just won't be on layer 1. You won't know. It'll all blend together.
I won't tell him.
We're gonna eat it anyway.
Eat it anyway.
We're gonna eat it anyway.
Okay, so things are moving right along.
Yeah, we're on the third layer.
Third layer.
We're gonna put a fourth layer. Wait, right? Is that the third layer? One, two. Yeah, it's the third layer. We just finishing up the third layer. We're gonna put a fourth layer in a topper, so it may overflow.
But we're gonna put a pan underneath it in
We
the
have
oven.
enough stuff to do the fourth layer, so we're gonna go for it.
Cool.
So we're leaving just enough stuff for the fourth layer. So it'll actually be a 5-layer lasagna then, because it'll have the bottom layer and the top layer.
Yeah. We also added an additional noodle across. So we were doing 3 noodles on the bottom.
3 noodles on the bottom because it was narrower. This pan happens to go in a little, and then we did 4 on this third layer and 4 layers. We'll do 4 on the next layer.
Yeah.
And then 4 on the top.
Just to give it a little more support, right?
Yeah.
I also asked about this. I'm gonna screw up saying it.
The Pecorino Romano.
Pecorino Romano.
There's different brands of it. We usually buy Locatelli, but Costco didn't have the Locatelli because there's 2 different kinds: Parmesan and then this is Romano.
Mm-hmm.
And the Romano just has a different flavor. I love Locatelli. That's the particular type of Romano, but this is just as good. And then they grind it nice and fine, so it's just yummy.
You said it's a little, compared to Parmesan, it's a little less.
It's more creamy. Parmesan could be a little. It's a hard cheese Parmesan. This is hard too, but not as hard. And Parmesan is just a little sharper. So you have to watch how much you put of that in to meals because it is very sharp.
All right, guys, we're putting the final layer on, and wait until you see this. Check it out.
We ran a little tight with sauce, so we decided that for the top layer we're going to use jarred sauce. Ooh, don't tell anybody. Because we just ran out of the sauce. We used it all.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
Scraping the bottom of the barrel.
Scraping the bottom to get it in there, but that should do it.
We have about 5 needles left, and we are perfect on space. Look, I don't think it's going to be running over anytime soon. I think we're going to be really good.
We got it. Okay, so now.
Here come the final noodles. You're going to try and squeeze 5 of them on there.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going to do a
Just for
nice
the
top
last one.
layer. So now we're going to push it a little just to make sure it stays in there. And then we just got to cover the top with sauce and a little bit of Locatelli cheese, and we are good to go.
Look at all those layers in there.
So it's a 5-layer lasagna. 5 layers. Awesome sauce.
Look at that.
5 layers.
And here's the final product, unbaked.
Top layer of pasta, we put 5 sheets because we wanted to make sure it was nice and tight and closed up. Put sauce. We had a cheat and put this kind of sauce because we ran out of sauce. Put a little of the Romano and a little bit of the Parmesan, and now we're gonna cover it. Put it in the oven for 350 degrees for a half an hour, and then we will uncover it for another half an hour. And it's heavy. Probably weighs about 10 pounds, maybe 20 pounds. Oh, let's weigh it.
You said no mozzarella on the top, right?
No mozzarella on top. That's just the way my grandmother made it.
Yeah. Because we're going to cover this thing. We don't want it to stick, or we don't want the mozzarella
So
to get
it's
weird.
12 pounds, so maybe 10
And
pounds.
that's including the glass.
Yeah, so maybe 10 pounds.
Josh, do you want to hold it?
You don't want to go too hot.
Yeah.
Do you want to handle it too?
No, it's fine.
You can weigh it. It's heavy.
Yeah,
It's
you
a
handle
heavy
it.
one.
I'll hold it.
Sure.
Oh, take a picture of him.
Quick smell it. Ready?
Take a picture of him.
Well, he's on video. Get a picture
Very
with my
dense.
phone.
I'm ready for it.
Nice.
Oh, it smells so good. I'm ready for it.
All right.
So I'm gonna stop.
All right, so we're covering it, and now we're going to stick it in the oven at 350.
But it gets nice and bubbly inside. All the flavors melt together. Oh, it's so heavy, my God. Wait, someone open the oven.
I got it. Ready? We got our foil
Put a
in
little
there.
foil there in case it drips. Okay. Oh, we got it in there.
And it's in.
It's in. So we're gonna set the timer. 30 minutes.
And then we'll take the top
And
off.
we'll take a peek at it. We should be able to see it bubbling. When it's bubbling, it's not bubbling yet.
All right, now it's cleanup time. We'll see you in about 30 minutes.
Uncovering. It's a little cheese stock, but look at that. See that's why you don't really need cheese on top because the Parmesan melts like it would melt cheese. Oh, it looks
Yeah.
good. Oh my God, does that look good? So that's a half an hour. We're gonna go a half an hour more without the cover on.
All right, so Josh is going to teach us how to make garlic bread. All right, what are you doing?
So I just take some butter kind of smash it up so that I can add some spices to it.
Okay.
First being garlic is the most important.
You just kind of eyeball it, not.
Yeah,
no
it's a taste.
messing
He's gonna put it in there.
And then some Italian seasoning, which includes rosemary, thyme,
Whole bunch of shit.
marjoram, garlic. I don't know garlic. Basil, oregano.
A little bit of everything.
A bit of everything. Got a little garlic in there too.
Okay.
Never can have too much garlic.
You just kind of mash it up in there. So this is what it looks like. Give it a little mix. It looks good. So now you just gotta cut up your bread, toast it, and then spread that on. So now all we have to do is cut the bread, toast it, and then spread this on.
There's a little extra cheese in
Oh yeah, because that's just poured on top.
So Josh topped these with Parmesan cheese
And the Romano cheese. All right. That looks. It's like puffed up.
Yeah.
That top layer. Oh, okay. Wow.
What is it?
Oh my god, it weighs a ton. Oh my god, look at that. Look at the bubbling. Look at that.
Beauteousness.
That cooked through. Beautiful. Wow.
Final product of the garlic bread. All right.
Oh my gosh, look at the layers.
Looks fantastic. Now it's time to dig in. Come on. What do you think, brother? Pickles, what do you think?
Super good.
Oh my god, it's so good.
It's good.
Even though it fell apart, Josh, I'm so sorry.
No, he's crying because it's so good.
Very good.
Oh my god.
Are you ready, Pittsburgh Mom?
Okay. I'll taste a little of this side stuff.
Not
Nice
bad for your
and
first
meaty.
time, huh?
Not bad.
Wow.
This is like an original nanny. Original, definitely.
Lois put a heart.
Wow, that come good.
All right, now I'm gonna give it a whirl. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Oh
It's
my
fun
gosh.
to keep Sunday dinners.
Yeah. Here it is.
My mother would get up and start the sauce.
Mmm. Magnificent. So good.
Wow, it is really good.
All right, so that's it. Boy, was that lasagna fantastic. Ugh. I can't wait until we make it again. It was just 2 weekends ago. I'm already ready for more. If you like this video, go ahead and like, share, subscribe, comment. Tell me how you do it. How do you make lasagna? What's your favorite style or variation to the recipe? I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you next week.